6 months and counting, the strike at Vale Inco grinds on. Today, union members showed their solidarity with a huge rally in downtown Sudbury. They gathered to raise spirits and remind the community what they're fighting for. CTV's Lynn Bullock was at the march, and she joins us live right now from Coppercliff. Lynn, did the steelworkers accomplish what they set out to do today?
Tony, I really think they did. This rally was massive, and it was bigger than anything the steelworkers had planned in the last year. About 2,000 people marched through the streets of downtown Sudbury, and they also heard their leaders explain why this fight is about a lot more than just Sudbury and Vale. Union slogans rang out as strike supporters marched en masse.
If you begrudge the union or these men for fighting what they're fighting for, they fought for you. They're fighting for your children. If your child chooses to work at Inco, then that's who they're fighting for. Their pensions, their futures.
It's the same message brought home by International Steelworkers President Leo Gerard, that helping these workers helps the entire city.
If you work in home renovation, if you hope selling boats, if you work at car dealerships, if you work at a kitchen cabinet factory, if you work at Lowe's, Lowe's is here because we had $190 million of nickel bonus that was spent in this community. 90% of the money that's generated in this community by the workers is spent in this community.
Even as the strike drags on, national interest is building.
Inco and Sudbury Local 6500 has always led the way in regards to negotiating collective agreements, and that kind of set the benchmark for patterns. So that's why it's crucial.
Those jobs belong to us.
Employers across this country, multinationals that are watching this every single day, hoping that they can crush this local and turn the clock back, they may think that that's going to make it easier for them when they get into negotiations.
As the nation watches what happens here, pressure builds to bring about a solution for these employees and the company they work for.
Lynn, something else happened today that might eventually force the two sides to start talking. Tell us about that.
Well, this morning, Tony, the union filed a bad faith bargaining complaint against the company. It alleges that Vale Inco unlawfully prolonged this strike, and the union's actually seeking financial damages through this. Now, if the union is successful, it could mean that the Ontario Labour Relations Board could step in and have the two sides resume negotiating.
So, Lynn, how is the company reacting to this move?
Well, I spoke with Steve Ball today from Vale Inco, and he had this to say.
Well, we consider the USW case to be baseless. Our emphasis since day one has been to conclude a fair deal for our business and for our employees. By demanding we completely remove our settlement proposal before going back to the table, that's one huge condition from the steelworkers in itself.
Lynn, what happens next?
Well, the company has a certain date to file a response by. I've heard it could be about 30 days. I'll need to double check on that. Then an adjudicator will look at the evidence. Then there could be an intervention to get these two groups talking again. Now, I was on a conference call with the union this morning, and they said that they hope that this complaint could actually be the thing that brings these two sides back together, and it's giving them hope that a solution could be at hand.
Thanks, Lynn. CTV's Lynn Bullock reporting live tonight from the smelter in Coppercliff.